Don't just live for tomorrow, or just live in yesterday. Just be glad for all you have that's in today.
Hey everyone, Connie here, and welcome to my blind reaction to Digimon Adventure 2020, episode 27. So we're here with another episode of Digimon, and yeah, we're heading into the new arc for sure. Last time we got a battle with some Seadramon, as well as Hikari fully coming into the digital world with them. So, in the original series, Gatomon was originally a servant of Myotismon, but then ended up, after finding out that Hikari was the Digidestined, the final one, they ended up working together. And at first it was a trick, but it ended up becoming real. And I don't know if that's going to happen again here. Because this has definitely had some major differences, some major things of note with this reboot that has strayed away from the original. So we'll just have to see. Either way, I don't think Hikari's going to get her Digimon partner Gatomon right away. I think we're going to have to wait for that. So we'll just see how it goes. In the meantime, everything else has been handled. Devimon is defeated. The stuff with the net and all the stuff going on the outside, the human world, is all handled. So yeah, we're definitely finished with everything from that arc. So we've got the beginnings of a new one, and we're going to see where it takes us. So yeah, let's see where it takes us. So when the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the link to the reaction, and after you finish, come back here to the redirect and resume play. Because after it fades to black and then fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts and will contain spoilers to the episode. So that being said, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you at the reaction. Okay, and we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. So I don't know if I mentioned this like last time or whatnot, but I want to mention it here. In the most recent video that Billiam put up, in his most recent like episode catch-up recap video with his friends, they talked about how they wished that there was a break in the action, that they wished that after Devimon especially, that there was just kind of this break in the action, that there was like a kind of a slow moment to just kind of catch our breath, basically. And when I watched that, I'm thinking like, why? like that's like what I'm thinking, and I think their reasoning is sort of on the level of like, because if it's all action like all the time constantly, it gets to be too much or something. But from my perspective, personally at least, I very much disagree. This is a hostile world. The digital world is a hostile world filled with evil Digimon. Just because Devimon's defeated doesn't mean that's going to change. This world is still extremely hostile. There's still a bunch of kids stuck in this world where there's all these Digimon who are trying to attack them, and as now recently realized, even try to eat their Digimon partners. They're constantly at risk, and they should be constantly facing down these enemies. Having a moment of respite, a moment of breathing time, would feel kind of forced. It would feel forced. It would feel unnatural to this world. Now, I'm not saying that they should never have those kind of moments, but those moments have to be sprinkled really rarely throughout here, in my opinion, again. it doesn't make sense to be having all these breaks in between like just these big battles and stuff. I like the fact that after they defeated Devimon, they're still taking on these enemies constantly because it allows us to see how aggressive this world is, and that they never truly have time for a rest. The only rest they're going to really have, honestly, is like if they just happen to take out a enemy Digimon and just spend a moment just waiting, kind of waiting and relaxing before even moving on. Which at that point it wasn't really an option, because after defeating Devimon, it's like, oh yeah, the entire like ground below them crumbled and they fell down into the sky below the Cloud Continent, and so they have enemies fighting them in the sky. They get down to water. They have enemies to fight in the water. It makes sense because they don't have that moment of respite. They don't have that moment where they're just able to stop and rest. Those moments, again, will probably come still. We'll probably get to see more of them sprinkled throughout, but I like that we're not having them constantly. By having no real time for breathing room, it, like I said, shows the danger of this world. It shows the threat of this world much better than it would if we did have all those breaks. So even after last time, like they continue on and they get attacked right away. They get attacked by this black lightning, and so they separate from the resistance in Eldoradimon in order to continue on and survive. But right when they reach the next continent, they're attacked right away. They're attacked instantly by Tortamon, who are then themselves attacked by Groundramon, who they also are attacked by. And then once Groundramon is defeated, then like they're attacked again, and it's like I like that because it shows that they're not going to get that rest that they could use, honestly. That things are in a very dangerous spot right now. And that honestly, even when they are needing to rest a little more, they're still going to probably be moving while they're resting. It's not going to be like just staying in one place. They're going to have to keep moving and just rest while they move. That's the most they can do at this point. The fact that they're having to face down 3 separate enemies, possibly 4 if that black lightning wasn't from the night, but 3 to 4 different enemies right when they get to this new continent. Like that is telling us something. That the threats of this world are not just gone because Devimon is gone. That this world is still hostile and dangerous, and it's going to remain so. That they are still way in over their heads, honestly. Like, these kids are smart. They know how to battle, and they can overcome the odds, but the odds are still stacked against them. And that's the point here. And I like that. So yeah, that's what this episode mostly entailed. Just kind of a bunch of back-to-back battles, really. There's a little moment of breathing room at the very beginning, but that was mostly just, okay, let's question Hikari. Let's see what she knows, where anything she finds out. Oh yeah, by the way, your Digivices are now upgraded. Stuff like that. But then it's like, right after they get attacked by the Black Lightning and stuff. And so it's like all these attacks back to back, and it's just showing them that yeah, their time fighting isn't over. So they continue on. They fight all these different ones, and Groundron is really difficult to defeat because of its hard armor-like skin, but Tai manages to figure out an ingenious plan to attack it from the inside, which works. And then Dark Knightmon returns, and we're going to see where that goes. So I'm really excited that this is continuing to be as threatening as it is. And the ending was really good. Like, after everyone had already been exhausted, Takeru steps up with Patamon because they hadn't fought yet. Um, and well, in this battle, in this series of battles, but they step up and Patamon digivolves for the first time. And we've seen Angemon before, and we've seen Patamon kind of project Angemon to the corrupted Greymon before. But we never actually saw the evolution of Patamon into Angemon in this series. So this was a really big moment for Takeru and Patamon. And I don't think Angemon will necessarily be enough to take out Dark Knightmon, because Dark Knightmon's an ultimate. So it's just basically at this point going to be kind of the leading moment. It's like, okay, we got Angemon again, and unless Angemon's abilities are just like perfectly set to take on Dark Knightmon, it's gonna Takeru and Angemon are still gonna need help here, which is still likely going to come in one way or another. We'll have to see exactly how it goes, but that's what I'm thinking is going to happen. But yeah, I very much enjoyed this episode. It was another great episode of the series, and I can't wait to see where this goes now. To see if my crazy theory about Devimon having been serving Myotismon or something actually comes to fruition. But in the meantime, tell me in the comments below what you thought of this episode of Digimon Adventure 2020, and thank you so much for tuning in. For now, I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.